Hi, good morning. How's everyone? It's my great pleasure today to introduce you to somebody that I've been working with for many, many years, and that's Dr. Valencia Porter. She's a physician here at the Chopra Center, the Mind Body Group. And Dr. Valencia has written this book, Resilient Health, How to Thrive in Our Toxic World. And it includes detox, diet plan, and recipes, and on and on. And I wrote the foreword. But let's talk to Dr. Porter to see how the book finally came about, but a little bit about her background. So, Valencia, can you share with all our wonderful audience right now that's watching us a little bit of your own story, your own journey, how you came to be an integrative doctor and working here at the Chopra Center, ultimately writing this book. Share your story.
Thanks, Deepak. Yeah, so I was a traditional Western MD, and luckily I fell into your teachings many years ago, more than 25 years ago. But I went to traditional Western medical training and started to go into pediatrics and child neurology, and then became a bit disillusioned with our Western approach, which was to treat people at the end, once something has already happened. And I thought, why don't we prevent illness and work on keeping people healthy instead of dealing with symptoms at the end result and then dealing with the issues that arise from the complications and side effects from medications. And by chance, I was unfortunately hit with my own illness, which ended me up here at the Chopra Center. That was about more than 15 years ago. And I was so blessed to come across you and Dr. David Simon, the co-founder of the Chopra Center, who, exposed me to this wonderful system of medicine called Ayurveda, which is the healing science and art from ancient India with so many wonderful principles. And what really put me on the path to writing this book was opening my eyes to how health comes about and how we need to tap into our natural healing. And what struck me also was that I grew up, I was a nature lover. I always was hiking and in the woods and playing outside, but I really saw myself as separate from nature. That was something outside, something that we could pollute and then clean up. But I didn't realize what an impact it actually had on my own health. And I was wondering if you could speak a little bit about the Ayurvedic view of the environment with regards to our own physical being.
So it makes common sense. I think when you look at a different perspective, you see that it's common sense. What we call the environment is our extended body. After all, this air is your breath. The trees are your lungs. If they didn't breathe, you wouldn't breathe. If you didn't breathe, they wouldn't breathe. The waters of our earth, the oceans, the rivers, the rain, the dewdrops, the springs, the rivulets, they're all our circulation. And, the light of the sun is the fire of transformation in our bodies. So in the ancient times, they said both the body, our physical body, and what we call the world, they are made up of the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. Now, those are words that describe modes of knowing and experience in human consciousness. You could easily say the same things. You could say electromagnetic activity, subatomic particles, force fields, and the quantum vacuum, and the periodic table. Just different words for saying the same thing: space, air, fire, water, and earth. This is all who we are, whether it's me, you, a tree, a galaxy. We are all part of one holistic, dynamic expression of pure consciousness, which we call the universe. You and the universe are not separate. In fact, everything that's happening in the so-called environment is recycling through your body. At this moment, nothing in your body came from anywhere else. It's recycling. It's the recycling of the elements. But there's one additional caveat here, and that is wherever there's matter, there is mind. And today, by the way, a lot of physicists are moving in the direction of what they call panpsychism, which I'm not totally aligned with, but they're getting close, in that we can't use matter as a word by itself, or the body as a word by itself. We have a body-mind, and it's one entity. So whether we say body and mind or body-mind makes a difference, because body and mind implies two things. Body-mind, they're complementary aspects of a deeper reality that we know is the ground of all experience, the ground of all experience in every living species, and that's consciousness. So body-mind should be used in the same way as we say space-time or mass energy or wave particle. But let's go beyond the theories now. You struggled with your own illness too.
Yes.
And you ultimately were able to override all the problems you had, but your main insight was exactly what you're talking about, that if you don't heal what we call the environment, we can't heal ourselves. So tell everyone what they can expect to find in this book. Why should anyone read this book? I read it, I wrote the foreword. I think it's very insightful. But why should anyone actually want to read this book?
Thank you. So it really is looking at our health from a holistic standpoint and looking at the environment also from a holistic standpoint. So there are a lot of detox books out there and detox diets out there, 3-day juice cleanses and the like, which really only address the body, the physical body. And so what this book does is it takes going from a very inner look inward, so what's in our guts, our microbiome, which we've been talking a lot about here,
yeah.
And taking care of our inner environment, our inner ecology, and learning about what else we can do to sustain our health from that body, mind, and spirit perspective. So I really look at these concentric views outward, going from the inside to the outside, and looking at toxicity from multiple different levels, not only physical toxins and chemical toxins, but also emotional toxicity. Look at all the toxicity that's been in our media recently. What are we feeding ourselves, both as in terms of nourishment, physical nourishment, and mental and spiritual nourishment? We need to expand all of these horizons and clean up all of these areas in order to have the most resilient and vibrant health. And I was really struck by your book, Deepak, The Healing Self, and the similarities in your book. You call it disruptors of health, and all these environmental aspects really that can disrupt our health and what we can do to turn that around. And in the same way, I look at toxicity more in a broader sense as those similar health disruptors.
So I'm looking at the chapter titles. Part 1, Awareness. Chapter 1, Our Toxic Burden. Chapter 2, Environmental Toxicity, a Missing Link to Health. Part 2, Assessment. How toxic are you? Is your detox system optimized? Part 3, Action. What goes in? Food. What goes on? Skin, body, and clothing. Living in it. Home, garage, yard. Dealing with it, your mind and emotions, beyond ourselves, karma and consciousness, and then the appendix has elimination diet guide, meal plan and recipes, and then all the resources. The book, once again, is called Resilient Health, How to Thrive in Our Toxic World by Dr. Valencia Porter. So when did the book come out? It just came out, right?
The book just came out in February, and the paperback came out in March, and you can get it on all the regular channels, and you can find out more about it at resilienthealthbook.com. And to promote this, I'm also doing a giveaway of a infrared sauna, because sweating is a really amazing way to help help detoxify, and it turns on anti-aging and resiliency genes. So all of that information can be found at resilienthealthbook.com.
So do check out the link we gave you, and I hope you'll get time to read the book. At some point, you might want to come to the Chopra Center and get a consultation with Dr. Valencia Porter. Any last words?
Yeah, I mean, that really was the impetus for my book, was helping people here for the last decade in our Perfect Health program.
Where people have now shown that there's a drastic change in gene expression and telomerase level, how inflammatory markers are affected. So all of that is a live experience here at the Chopra Center. Dr. Valencia Porter is one of our mind-body specialists. She has a degree in training in integrative medicine. She went to the program with Dr. Andrew Weil as well, and got her certification in that. She's an MD. And this is her book, Resilient Health, How to Thrive in Our Toxic World. Thanks for joining me, Valencia, and congratulations.
Thank you so
Lovely.
much, Deepak.
And check it out, guys. Thank you.